Hey guys, Anthony Delmedico here, live on the Speakeasy, actually next door in my office, with Pavel Stepanov. Did I say that right?
You got it.
Pretty close. Out of Bellevue, Washington. He's a vendor. His company, myvirtualdesk.com or VirtuDesk, is a company out of Bellevue, Washington. They're a vendor at the Wind and Storm Conference and Trade Show Expo here next month, February 14th, 15th, and 16th. He's going to be on the vendor floor. Today, we're going to do a little session because I need some help, some admin support help myself in the virtual world because we got a lot going on right now. So I'm kind of interested in your services. Tell me a little bit about VirtuDesk, how you started it, and what you focus on and all that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for introduction. Thanks for hosting me, guys. VirtuDesk was started in December of 2016 because before that, I was a real estate agent and a real estate broker, where I was just buried in paperwork, had to work, like 60, 80 hours a week. Big part of that was not only just selling homes, but actually dealing with the paperwork that I hated to do. I hired a virtual assistant to help me out with the transaction, with prospecting, scheduling appointments, dealing all of that. And then my agents at my brokerage were asking for the same help because they were also buried with paperwork. And I started, helping them get virtual assistants by actually interviewing them, by vetting them and training. And then a kind of business idea was born, and that's what we started doing on a larger scale. That's what we're doing right now. So VirtuDesk was born because there was a great need for more time for people to have, because life is not about just working. It's about actually doing some other stuff.
Time is a scarcity these days.
It is. And everybody has the same amount of hours, 24 hours in a day.
Well, today, especially post-COVID, COVID, a lot of people went home. A lot of people are learning or learned how to work remotely, but also a lot of folks like me that are back in the office, hiring new people, dealing with people still. Like I had one of my admin assistants here was out for 2 weeks suddenly with COVID. Another gal that's fairly new was gone sick yesterday, and all of a sudden I'm out in the admin support. But fundamentally, a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners like me are dealing with new hires from post-COVID. A lot of people switch jobs, and they still need all this stuff done, from booking tickets to booking hotel rooms to setting up meetings. Heck, I can imagine contractors in the space that we're in, in a $100 billion roofing and storm restoration industry. One of the most time-consuming tasks is following up with insurance companies. We talked about that earlier, but
we did.
Following up on your supplement, following up. I mean, insurance companies will wear you down, and you're either creating more deals, signing new deals or generate new business, or you're sitting on a phone with an insurance company trying to get your supplement or your estimate approved.
Trying to get your bills paid. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen some contractors in your space. I don't know if you have any of those clients yet, but use virtual assisting for just following up on estimates, supplements, and even AR in some cases. So there's definitely a big opportunity for contractors and heck, even PAs and attorneys that are dealing with carriers, because it's just a lot of time for those follow-up calls and follow-up emails and checking on things is a time consumer.
Yeah, and that's exactly why virtual assistant could actually come handy to somebody who, let's say, maybe doesn't have an office space or just runs the business out of their home, and they need an assistant who's remotely, because you don't need somebody physically to actually sit on the phone and follow up with the insurance companies or prepare invoices or basically get all of that stuff done, because your job as a contractor is to work on the actual project instead of just sitting on the phone all day chasing your money from the insurance companies. Or your job is to go meet with a prospective customer and give them a quote. Virtual assistant is somebody who can actually manage your calendar, manage your appointments. Let's say you're running behind, and somebody can actually get a hold of your customer and reschedule or let them know you're running late. Basically, somebody who manages the calendar. That's a big part of this as well.
Now, are you guys able to take any incoming calls if you had an assigned phone number or forwarded number?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh yeah. We have we're using Timble. It's in-house developed soft phone where where your virtual assistant can get a US number, and it's local number to any locality that you want it to be. The area code is going to be local. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. How about like something like here? I'll think outside the industry contractor spectrum. Let me think about my spectrum for a minute. Let's see here.
Sure.
If I needed, let's say, because like I said, I had a couple admin people down last week. Let's say I called you and said, hey man, I got a list here. I got 700 elite VIPs and 500 VIPs. And we send them all an email blast, but we all know that only 10% open their emails. Most of them go in here and they don't read them.
Yeah.
That's a big problem these days.
Yeah.
But I need to make sure that they open their email on Reddit. There's some deadlines. Can you assign someone for the next few days to call on my elites and VIPs, remind them to check their email? If they didn't get it, resend them the email.
Of course.
And make sure that they do X, X, and X because the show's coming up. That's actually a real need I have right now.
Yeah, of course. That's easy because you basically provide the list of people that you need to be called. You need sort of a script, what to say, or the idea what you wanted to convey, and your assistant can just call them up, say, hey, Andre, we got a show coming up. Have you checked the email? We've sent it to you. Just wanted to follow up with you if you wanted to attend or whatever, So okay. Yeah, of course.
I have a call center here in a dialer, so you would think my marketing is like, why don't you just do it here? But most of the guys out there are focused on converting right now leads to new sales, and to stop a salesperson or someone that's in that mindset to sit and do an admin follow-up. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, that's a challenge for us because we're more of a sales organization. So I have admin people here, but like I said, I had one that was out for 2 weeks. That's actually a real project. I have a couple things related to the conference that are just follow-up and customer service. After this call, I might get with you on that just because the bandwidth of the people right now is on sales and new sales, and it's really not on customer service follow-up. And we're admin short right now in this office due to the recent wave of whatever new strains out there running around or whatever it is against sick.
Yeah, Omicron.
I can't keep up with all the strains.
Seriously, right? Yeah. There's always going to be another variant, dude. So we just live our life normally. No, we had people in the office who had some COVID and had to take some time off. They're back, but we're not affected by that. And frankly, during the first COVID thing when it happened, like in March of 2020, we were not as much affected because we were already set up for all of our virtual assistants to work from home, and all of our virtual assistants are located in the Philippines. And when COVID lockdowns, I don't say COVID happened, I say COVID lockdowns happen. A lot of call centers were shut down in the Philippines because they couldn't go from one city to another. We were able to recruit a lot of talent from there, from major Fortune 500 companies who are working on American Express, Bank of America. We were able to actually rehire those people here. And that kind of let us, build a great, base that we have. So that thing kind of helped us out,
Are some of your workers in the Philippines, or they're back?
Majority of about 700 people of them. Yeah. And we hire
English, and
it's an English speaking country.
Okay.
It's an English
speaking second language. What's the second language over there?
Well, they speak, because the Philippines, it's 7,000 islands. So each island has its own language. So naturally, English is the language that everybody speaks there. They have Tagalog as the native tongue, but everything is in English. The television is in English, newspapers in English, road signs are like U.S. road signs. They have. I don't know if you know, but Philippines used to be U.S. colony up until 1945. Teddy Roosevelt actually conquered the Philippines back in 1899, I think.
And then the Japanese took it over for a little while.
Japanese took it over for a little while. Then we freed them, and after we freed them, we said, "Okay, you can have your independence now."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Bataan Death March was in the Philippines, wasn't it?
Who?
Yeah, called the Bataan Death March in World War II. They captured a bunch of our soldiers from the Japanese.
I don't know. Yeah, but the thing is, Philippines has a big U.S. influence, or I'd say Western influence, out of all the Asian countries. This is where people actually speak English, and what I notice when I go there, this is a country that actually eats without the chopsticks, eats with spoon and fork.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
got some friends that got properties out there. They go out there quite a bit.
mhm.
They love it out there. They got little organic farms and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where a lot of Fortune 500 companies have call centers. Instead of India, they take it to the Philippines because English is more of a the neutral there, as far as it doesn't have a strong accent, and they sound normally over there. So,
What if I have? Let me just kind of brainstorm with you on some other
yeah,
needs. Somebody listening to this might kind of connect. Regardless of what space. Let's say I have, I got a lot of database leads that click on stuff. Again, I have a call team and they're focused on a low hanging fruit. Let's say I gave you a list of, I don't know, 10,000 last book downloads that I have, and maybe they got a free invite or a free GA ticket if they did X. Is that something we could send you and you could call and query?
yeah. Well,
Qualify
basically,
for a free ticket or want to do a ticket giveaway or something
well,
like
whatever you basically decide it to be, if you decided to be give away some sort of a ticket or something, or let's say we give you the assistant and you tell your assistant, okay, I want you to call all those 10,000 people and offer them such and such, or say such and such things, and have some sort of call to action, from that phone call, so that people will go to the your website or download whatever. So yeah, it's all doable.
So it could be a virtual. You could look at your service as a virtual call center for a campaign.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People hire us for this. Yes.
Okay.
And that's what realtors actually hire us a lot, to make phone calls to the prospective, the database about selling homes. Or what usually realtors hire us for is when they list a house, they want to call the neighbors around the property and see who else wants to sell their house. So, they give them a bunch of phone numbers, and this person calls the database and says, okay, we've just listed the property right here. Do you know anybody who wants to live in the area? Would you not like to find out how much your house is worth? Same thing could be happening, let's say, in your industry. Let's say there's a hail, okay, and there's a damage from the hail. So you need the roof contractors to go out there. So roof contractors can hire a virtual assistant, call out all the people in the area, say, hey, your roof might have been damaged by the recent hail. Would you like to stick them down and give you an estimate?
Now, do your callers back there, do they have do they use a dialer system? If we send you that many leads, they get loaded dialer, they call manually, or how does that work?
We have a dialer. Yeah, we have an auto dialer. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Of course, it's all automatic. Manually, it's gonna be pretty.
Well, mark that down. That might be another little project I send over to you after this call. I got a couple that are coming to mind. Look, these days, what I noticed, maybe it's an American thing, maybe it's a youthful thing, but everybody likes to do this these days. And they like to text, they like to inbox, including our clients. They don't answer their phone. Yeah, inbox, text. But the human voice in the phone call is getting less and less. Or they like to email, but nobody reads their emails.
People don't like to talk to each other anymore, man.
And having somebody that can actually physically sit there and get somebody on the phone to confirm they got the email, to confirm X.
Or send them a text, because our technology allows us to send a text to somebody.
Yeah, we do text blast too.
Yeah.
But the human voice is a powerful weapon. And
it sure is, yeah.
More and more people have forgotten how to use it and pick up the phone. And sometimes that's the only way to truly confirm something these days. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You can't manage by email anymore. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you could actually manage by email. I mean, people were all about reading email, replying. These days, a lot of times it goes into spam. You don't know.
Automatically goes into spam. Yeah, you don't even get to it.
So yeah, emails become a very ineffective way to communicate these days. So tell me, how do you charge for your service? Is there a weekly rate, monthly rate, project?
We have an hourly rate. Hourly rate goes about from I think $9 an hour. Starts $9 with some change, and it goes from like $9 to $12 an hour.
$9 to $12 an hour.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it
for me. Yeah. Sold. Send those 3 projects.
So they say about the great resignation right now, the big quit. That's why people come to us, because they don't have to deal with this drama of the big resignation and the big quit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's a good price.
Yeah.
It's a real good price. Now, do you have is there, if I was, let's say, so I'm thinking of a couple projects I might send you just for coming up for the conference, to be honest with you. But
Sure.
is this something, obviously you create a script, we send you a list, you guys load it. Is it going to be the same 1 or 2, 3 people, I'm assuming, that are on this project, or would it be?
Here's the way it's going to work. Once you actually, let's say you're a prospective customer, you agree to work with us. We sign the agreement that you're going to be working with us. We give you several people to interview, and you get to pick which people you want to work for you. You know, you do the Zoom interview and you interview like 3, 4 girls or guys and say, okay, you sound pretty good, or you sound like smart, you sound dumb. So you basically decide who's going to be working for you, like in a real job interview. Okay. So once you do that, this person gets assigned to account manager who's going to be working with you from our team, and you'll be giving tasks to this person directly who's going to be working for you. Okay. They'll say, okay, I want you to do this and this and this.
I like that. I like that. So yeah, most of our follow-ups are B2B, so we're not selling Tupperware to Mrs. Smith. Usually it's high ticket items, but also it's sometimes just, like I said, confirming spots or reservations or conference type stuff. And, it'd be nice to see those people and make sure it's the same 3 people at least. And that
You don't get your tasks don't get assigned to a pool. They basically, you pick the person who's going to be working for you full-time or part-time, whatever you decide. Because we have both part-time and full-time options.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And are these folks capable of conducting a Zoom call with somebody?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what they do every day.
Well, I'm very interested, and we'll talk to you after this about some projects I got just on admin follow-up.
No problem. Yeah.
That's interesting. So are you a new vendor at the Win a Storm conference, or?
It's going to be our first appearance at your conference, because we've been mostly going to real estate events, but this is going to be our first non-real estate event. Well, actually not first, but we've been to small business, but this is like for your industry. Yeah. I'm excited to see Herschel Walker and Jordan Belfort.
Herschel Walker, get Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Richard Rollins, Gas Monkey, and then Ryan Stuman. Those are good. Those are kind of Dallas-based guys that have a following. Yeah, but we're excited. We're expecting about, right now we're on track to hit about probably 7,000, 6,000 or 7,000. Definitely breaking 5. We usually grow by 500 to 1,000 every year. But we are launching a major radio campaign next week. A 3-week campaign, very aggressive. So we might hit the 10,000 mark. So we'll see that. That's if radio adds the frosting that I believe it will, we're going to bring in every last Dallas contractor. Let's put it that way, in a 50-mile radius. So either way, it's going to be a heck of a show there at the Kay Bailey. Excited to have you. Not a lot of people in your space where you're at on our show. There might be one other company that does something similar, but they do a lot of other things. They're not really focused on that one area. So you might have a good message for these guys. I mean, the average industry contractor's biggest complaint is time. And most of that are, the guys that come to our show that are really hustling, and their sales associates, not just the owners. It's the follow-up game with the insurance company. So you might want to have something like that booth or space that talks about following up on estimates and supplements and following up on documentation with a carrier, because that's a painful point for them on time. I used to be one of those guys, so I know. So
the deal, yeah.
And finding good, strong admin people, just I think in general in America right now. I'm experiencing it in my own office right now. Again, coming out of COVID, I think everybody got a little foggy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and people's expectations right now are a little bit different from the employer. It's hard to find good people to work for you. You got to really pay a lot of money right now for that.
Yep. Sometimes you don't get what you pay for.
No, I know.
But I think in an admin area, there's definitely what you're doing. There's definitely a niche for it. And heck, if some kind of weird lockdown, hopefully it doesn't happen again. I think it's unconstitutional. But if something like that happens again, the more people you have in your Rolodex to be able to provide service for you as a business owner or for anything, from virtual training like what we provide, or virtual assisting or virtual calling like what you provide, that's definitely a wave of the future.
I mean, I think so, yeah. And again, because everybody kind of sort of moved to this Zoom world right now, that actually gives us a little different perspective employment space. Employment space kind of changed right now.
Yeah.
No, it used to be all in the same office. Now it can be anywhere. You can be sitting anywhere in the world and conduct business.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm still old school. I'd like everyone to work from here.
Me too.
A lot of the companies here, like in this building, in other words, there's still like the bank next door. It's a massive floor space next door. There's like 3 people working there. So I'm assuming they're not bringing those people back. They learned how to work virtually, and they're downsizing out of these big corporate offices and going to a leaner model. A lot of these big corporations figured out, hey, I don't need to employ those people anymore. I'll hire virtually. And so
May 1st of 2020, we went back to the office. They locked us down in March 2020. May 1st, everybody was back in the office. That's it. It was just enough for us. I said, no more.
Sounds
no
like
more of this BS.
We're about 2 months in.
Yeah.
But a lot of these bigger companies I think they learned how to gravitate towards the virtual or the remote working environment. And I think it's saving them a lot of money. So I think you're in a good space.
It's saving a lot of money, definitely, for sure. Yeah.
So, well, I'll tell you what, we look forward. It's nice meeting you. We look forward to having you at the show.
Likewise, my man.
I'll come by and see you. And I'll tell you what, after this, I got some other things I got to do, but I'm going to have Andre, or is it Kira? Kira, send you over some projects you can, send us a quote on. I'm not going to quote them. Just let me know.
Yeah. No problem. I think they were talking to Jekka, and Jekka can, set them up with our guys to talk to, or Kira can connect with Elias.
I wouldn't mind Zoom. I wouldn't mind Zoom calling a couple people. I want to see if there's some people out there that can use Zoom effectively. Because sometimes it's just doing a review of a thing, or a review of this or that, a review of that. That might be something we can use long term too. So there's always a need for that.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll look forward to seeing you. It's coming up. I think we got 30 days left?
Yeah, I think it's on the 14th, right?
30
Valentine's
days.
Day.
Yeah,
right?
if you come early on Sunday, we'll be there in the Hall A. We're throwing a little pre-registration party in Hall A if you make it there on Sunday.
Nice. I'm flying in on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'll be there.
1 p.m. to 10 p.m. pre-registration. We'll have some drinks, beverages, TVs up in there. And I can't say the word Super Bowl because I got a cease and desist from the NFL, but it's a Super Bowl party.
Let's do it.
All right, buddy.
Nice.
We'll
all right, bro. All right. Thank you.